Hey, on the days that I be feeling, most days I feel like I'm worth something. Most days I feel like I'm worth something. But in those hard times, through those hard times, those hard days, you feel like you're not worth nothing. You start to wonder, and that's when doubt and second guessing yourself come along. What am I here for? What am I here for? And you just have to remember remember of why you started. Remember why you started. Remember what bring you here in the first place. Remember what happened. Remember why you first started praying. And boy, when you try to remember when you try to remember those days like that, when you try to remember those days like that, it seems like everything just disappears from your mind. It's because of the pain and the suffering that hits you the most, that hits you very deeply, that it takes over all the good and all the things that you ask God for. And I say this to say that because those be the times that most of us give up, just like that. Those be the times that we really forget, like really forget of what we prayed for, or what we just said, what we literally just said, what we gonna do. And having a mind like that, having so many things playing out in your head that way, it leads to a lot of evil things. It leads to a lot of self destruction, of no peace, of where forgetting where you actually started from. But being vulnerable, taking the time for yourself, no matter how hard or the pain feel in that moment, like you just can't say a word. You just so balled up in the inside that you just want to take it out on any and everybody. During those times like that, be the most significant change in your life. The minute you get on your knees and pray, or the minute that you start speaking to God, and everything just shifted and changed. Now everything that you asked and prayed about, everything that you was wishing about, everything that you was actually working hard towards to, came back to mind and made you remember, made you actually remember why you are here. Those be the days, those be the moments of remembering who you are. Because it be just like that, man. An enemy try to take you out flat line. You just all of a sudden just forget when the pain are so deep and very hard. And you just break down. You just break down tears of joy. Because you know in your heart that you almost gave up. And boy, if you would have given up, feeling this joy and this peace that you feel right about now, you know you would have had a whole lot of regrets. Especially if you would have turned your back on God. You would have had a whole lot of pain of suffering and wishing that you would have just stick it out a little bit, just a little bit more longer. If you just stick it out for one more second, if that thought would have just came to mind, if you'd have forced yourself to just think about it, and that second would have just changed your mind, then you would have known. But I just say those times like that be the hardest times, and want you to remember, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how hard it gets, because it's waiting on you. It's waiting on you. The harder days are waiting on you. The harder days are waiting on you. And they're waiting for you to slip up. So I say, no matter how hard it gets, remember, you always got to remember why you started it. Why you start in the first place. And what bring you this far.